Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be from passionate sex to lack of interest. I've got an email here from a viewer who everything started out great with his girl, and now things have gone a little sideways, and he's wondering what happened. And this is what's so important. It's like and I talk about this a lot, about your emotional self-control and doing things right when you're dating a girl that you're really into, a girl who fucking knocks your socks off. It's really hard to do when you haven't dated enough women that you felt that way about and been in relationships with women like that and made love to women like that, and you're experiencing it for the first time, like I talked about when I was going through it in the girl that I did, one of the girls I wrote about in my book. It's very fucking hard. And even though you might have dated and slept with a lot of great women, and it's like it's 100% harder when you're dating a girl that you really dig and you're really into, and especially as time goes by and she really gets to know you, because the more time you spend together, the more you get to know each other's idiosyncrasies and quirks or personality tics, if you will, or little things that tend to bother you or irritate you about the other person. And if you've got deep-seated beliefs that you basically feel like you're not worthy, or that it's just a matter of time before the other shoe drops and she figures you out and loses interest like all the other ones in the past have, that gets really hard to do the right thing. So he says, "Hi Corey, I have a question about the very important role of sense of humor in relationships, but I better give a little quick background first. Nearly a full year has passed now since I found your book on Amazon, and I truly cannot thank you enough. I've grown leaps and bounds in understanding how to court a woman, seduce her, and then show her a great time in bed. It continues to be an ongoing work in progress, but I tip my cap to you. I've followed all of the sensational material from the seduction community for years now, but your way is the genuine, sustainable path to James Bond level greatness. Well, the thing that makes me different is that I focus on all phases. I focus not only on the pickup phase, how to meet her, how to get a phone number, how to get a first date, but also the courtship process, dating her successfully, getting her to fall in love with you to the point where she wants you to be her boyfriend and she wants to be in a relationship with you, and then getting into a relationship and being able to maintain that level of attraction, learning how to communicate with her in a way that makes her feel loved, validated, that you actually understand her and can communicate with her, and have a great healthy relationship where you both are basically focused on meeting each other's needs. So he says, 2 months into my current relationship, I sense that I've hit a considerable roadblock. All signs have pointed to a very high level of interest until the last 2 weeks. Well, obviously something happened, or you did something, or you said something that's caused her to back up, to perceive you as being weak, or whatever happens to be going on. If everything was going right for 2 months and all of a sudden things go sideways, there's obviously something that you're now doing differently. He says, now she's giving me the same old story that seems to precede any downward spiraling relationship. And perception is reality. Notice what it's good that you're noticing things, but you're assuming that it's not going to work out, because that's just your limiting beliefs. And how can I tell? Because they come up in your letter, and I can tell what you're thinking and what your psychology is, your personal internal psychology of how you're approaching the situation. And remember what I said, perception's reality. And so your perception right now with what you shared is that it's not going to work out. So he says, she is so busy with her job in grad school and only can get together or talk on the phone less frequently. Plain and simple. And I would say the phone is only for setting dates anyways. You shouldn't be talking on the phone. And guys make the mistake when they get familiar with a girl and they date her enough. And even though in the beginning they weren't talking on the phone all the time, after they've been dating for a few weeks or a couple of months, then it's pretty much they're talking constantly on the phone. And then what happens is they don't realize it's subtle and it happens very slowly, but they start to spend more and more time talking and texting and less time in person. And that is part of you letting go and giving up a little bit of your own self-control, being too easy, too available. He says, plain and simple, she's just not knocking down my door like she did a month ago. Yeah, she's probably gotten really familiar, really comfortable with you, and probably a little bit bored. Plus, I don't know what you've done yet to turn her off, but something's different. He says, I don't doubt that she is busy, but I know in my heart that if she truly found strength for me and desired my presence that she could clearly squeeze in a few minutes and would feel energized by calling and texting me during the work week. Instead, my phone has been silent and it really hurts. Well, it sounds like now you're sitting around waiting for her to call and text you just to chit-chat. Again, the phone is for setting dates. And if a girl starts backing off and she's not calling or texting you at all, then you call her once a week and invite her out for a date. He says, Corey, you say in your book that you need to rely on humor, and I couldn't agree more. And I'm speculating. Yeah, it's always keep things funny, keep it light, have a sense of humor, just kind of go with the flow of things. Don't talk about serious subjects or boyfriend, girlfriend, or relationships or where this is going, that kind of shit. That's the quickest way to turn a girl off and get the let's just be friends speech or I'm not ready for a relationship speech. He said, I'm speculating that my problem with her may be stemming, and this is where he gives it away. He says, I'm speculating that my problem with her may be stemming from my lifelong insecurity with my sense of humor. She made a random comment a few nights ago that she loves Gavin DeGraw's music, but that she has an innocent crush on him because he's so funny and playful. I took this as no arbitrary comment, but rather a significant signal that she really desires that in a man, and that she doesn't feel like I'm delivering the humor and good vibes that she wants. The idea is just to focus on creating one fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen after another. Don't complicate things. And now you're worried about being something that you're not or trying to change. And the idea is just always have fun, be playful, tease, don't get all serious about things. Just have a good time together and then seduce her later in the evening. He says, I got some other awkward comments thrown my way that night, and I didn't get a goodnight kiss. She has always seemed physically and spiritually distant from me since, and when I've reflected on the past 2 months together, as fun as our adventures and sexual escapades have been, I would honestly have a tough time citing moments where we have truly laughed out loud together. Regardless, if the humor issue is really my problem or not right now, though it probably is, it's something I need to improve on. I grew up in a serious, dry, even boring household, and I've always had to work hard or get lucky at finding ways to make people laugh. In the case of dating girls, I'm good looking and I'm good on paper, as they say. And I can also get by fine with flirty, innocent humor early on by keeping a healthy level of mystery. But then I always seem to hit this point in relationship where my confidence unravels a bit. The insecurities start to come out and girls just have to sense this. Yeah, in other words, you've been dating her for a while and you're paranoid that she's going to find out about all your skeletons in your closet. And obviously you get comfortable with her and you think everything's great, and so you start letting her see your weak side, or your insecurities, your fears, your doubts. And you're doing this before she's head over heels in love with you. And you're doing it in a way that's it doesn't make you look good. I mean, you already know this because it's coming out in your email. He said, do you know of any concrete ways that I can work on becoming funnier and becoming more charming? What's worked for you over the years? And do you think I can save this relationship and really make her passionate about me to the point where she leaps into my arms again with joy? Well, here's the deal. Go back and read my book again, because obviously it's been a while since you've read it. And so you're going to read it and you go, oh shit, I'm doing that. And you're not even going to realize that it's just these things creep up on you. You might have been doing everything great up until a month in, and then you started doing something. But obviously I would say you've spent too much time talking on the phone, just from what you've shared here. You haven't kept a healthy level of mystery with her. Because remember, women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And if she's totally sure of herself and where she stands with you, then they're going to get a little bit bored and they're going to back up. And more than likely, you've acted insecure and needy because now that you've been dating this girl for a couple of months, you really like her and you really want things to continue on. And you don't want things to go sideways on you. And so I would look at that, obviously. And if you don't hear from her for a week, then just text her and just say, hey, I want to see you. When are you free to get together? Let her answer, and then make a definite date. Maybe 4 or 5 days out in the future. Make definite plans, and then that way she can wonder about you and what you're going to do. And just go back to the basics, dude. Because it sounds like you just kind of complicated things. You got a little lazy, you got a little complacent, you started slipping up, you started being too easy, too available, spent more time texting and talking on the phone, and started spending less and less time in person. But like I said, you gotta figure out what it is that you're doing wrong, and whatever it is that you're saying to her, because you said your insecurities and your fears and doubts have been slipping out. So you need to clean up that behavior and start acting like you did when you first started dating her, because what caused her to fall for you initially is what's going to cause her to fall for you again. But if you've been acting weak and you started chasing her, and now you're doing 70 to 80% of the calling, texting, and pursuing, she's not really having to do anything because she knows that you're going to call. And so it's like the power is kind of flipped back to her. And women don't want the power in a relationship. They want the guy to have it. So that's what I would do if I were you. Go back and review the book and go back to the basics, because there's something that you're doing and you're saying that's turning her off. And you obviously already have an inkling that you know what it is because you mentioned it in your email. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen. Just follow the instructions. If you want a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there is a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page once you get there. If you don't have a Kindle device, on the right-hand side of the download page, there's a button you can click to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install it and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters and articles, you can show your appreciation by going to my website. And on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.